because I hope a quick one next to my beautiful flowers. They're beautiful, aren't they? A client gave it to me. Totally unnecessary, but I love it. But I'm here to talk to you about Mars and Mars going direct again, because I had so many questions about this Mars going direct. So I'm going to do a quick one doing right through the signs, okay? I start, of course, with Libra, because I see so many people with Libra, especially Libra rising, and it's such an important time for them. You know, even if you don't have a Libra rising sign, just a sun sign or even a Mars sign in Libra, it is such an important time for you. And the most important thing for the Librans is that there is something or some area of their life that they have to take their own responsibility for. So it can be, when it's especially your ascendant sign, it can be that you need to stand up for yourself in a relationship, that you need to take the action. And normally Librans, they're not quite used to just go forward and go for what they want. They're always considering this situation, another situation, this person's feelings, another person's feelings. So go for it, Libra. Now is a very good time. And as I speak, Mars will go, I'm recording this at the 24th of May. So Mars will go faster and faster and faster, especially in June. So go for it. The opposite sign is Aries. So what's going on for the Aries people? Well, for Aries, which is the opposite sign of Libra, it's a time to, yes, still go forwards, of course, but also to take into account other people. So the Aries people are actually learning the opposite. They are actually, maybe in relationships, they encounter that they can have a meaning, but also someone else can have. So they really have to try to show some empathy and to understand other people that are around them. So in any situation, if it's not your rising sign, it simply means that you have to step out of yourself and take into account other people as well and understand them. You know, no matter what you do, if you want to do a new project, it's a good time, but don't go solo. You know, take into account the opinions of other people. That's what Mars in Libra is for you, is learning for you. What next? I'll start with Taurus then. Okay, I'll start. How will I do this? Yeah, if I'm going to do it random, it's not going to work. Okay, Taurus. So Mars is in your, if you were a Taurus and Mars is in Libra, it means, I'm really calculating very fast now in my head, it means it's in your 6th house. Mars in Libra in the 6th house, which means that there must be something that you want to change and want to improve about your day-to-day routines. So maybe you can simply change your routines and make them more efficient, because the 6th house is a very Virgo house, so it wants to make things better, it wants to improve. So it's a good time to be very active actually during your day-to-day actions, and to maybe change them, change your routines, make them better, make them more efficient, and do a bit more of exploring what you can do to change the way that you have your routines. Of course, for many people it's day-to-day work. How can they do some action there? Or to, if you've been out of a job, it's a very good time to find a job for the Taurians. Very good time. Now Scorpio, which is the opposite. Scorpio is about Mars in the 12th house. That is, you can deal with that, you Scorpios. Mars in the 12th house, that is spotting the blind spots. That is what Scorpios always want to do. Not only with other people, but especially with themselves. So for you, it's now a time of interreacting and understanding where your blind spots are and to do something about it. So now you know what the blind spots are. Now you're facing your demons, as it were, or your shadows. And that sounds really heavy, but it isn't. It can be a little thing. But now you have encountered it, you faced it, and as usual, you Scorpios, if you face something, you go through it and you become stronger. That's why people think of Scorpios, what a strong sign that is. And it is. Then next, let's look at what's after Taurus. Gemini. Gemini, this is very interesting for you because it's happening in your 5th house. So if you are a Gemini, you're having this Mars energy in your 5th house. It's a very playful house. It can mean that if you have children, that you do something different with your children, that you support them, or that you are active with your children, maybe helping them with homework, for instance, and that you're doing it in a new way, in a different way. But again, in the Libra kind of way, so you listen. You know, Mars in Libra is a lot about listening as well, especially for the other signs. So you are now listening more to your children, and you've got it now what to do different, and you apply it now. On another level, it can mean that you just have a new romance, and just go for it. You know, when Mars went retrograde, it was like, oh, will I maybe some insecurities there, which is normal if you start a new relationship, and now you go for it. You go for it and have fun, you know, everywhere. And on a more general level, it simply means all your creative projects, maybe from work, or maybe a new hobby that you're gonna do now, or you're gonna change another hobby. It is possible with Mars in the 5th house, and go for it. Now, what's the opposite sign? Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Mars in the 11th house. I think that you will do great with that, because the 11th house is a house of social contacts, and it's a very social house, but also a very fun house. It's a house of the future, and you Sagittarians, you like that. So maybe if your intentions weren't the right ones, now you find why you want to do the things and you go for it. Also with friends, it can mean that you will attract Mars-like friends, so maybe doing some sports with friends, or going out with friends and have some fun with it. So it's pretty much a very nice transit for the Sagittarians. What's next? What Cancer? So important for the Cancerians. Mars in your 4th house, which is the house of the Cancerian, the 4th house. So it has probably been for some Cancerians quite an important time, because the home and family is always important for a Cancerian, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're your ascendant or a moon sign or a sun sign. And now things have shifted there, or you want to do something different about the home, literally, or you want to move, or you want to work at home, because Mars is energy. And so it's good for you to put a lot of energy at home in a good way. So it could also mean actually that you have done a lot of energy to get to your core and to understand what you're all about on a very deep level. And now you have, and when Mars will go into Scorpio in the 5th house a bit later on, not next month, I think the month after that, you will go for it, for your dreams and for your wishes and what you like to do. So very important time for the Cancerians as well. Now the opposite sign is Capricorn. What a time it is for Capricorns who've got Mars there in the 10th house. I had that transit as well, although I have a Sagittarian rising. And it is really a time for you where you can make a lot of progress with work. And you can make a lot of steps forward. So you have been thinking about doing things differently, or maybe just things have gone in another direction. So if things were slow for you, it has become faster, and the other way around. So for Capricorns who usually like to work, on their how do you call that? On their careers, it's a good time to push and to go forward and to put some really effort there, and you will do well. What's next after Cancer? The 5th, Leos. For Leo, very interesting as well. Leo is a fire sign. Mars is in your 3rd house. It's in your house of communications. So you will communicate more. You will communicate in a different way. You have the opportunity to communicate strongly and in balance, because it's in Libra. So go for it. What you want to communicate, communicate, but do it in a balanced way. So as I said with the Aries people, I want to talk too fast, and then I do. You do like the Aries people, take into account other people's opinion, but stand up for your own opinion as well, and you'll do fine. Then the opposite sign of Leo is Aquarius, which is in the 9th house, which is wonderful. Having Mars in the 9th house is being active in that 9th house. And that can mean that maybe you're going to travel now, you're going to make that trip anyway, and you're going to be very active there. Maybe you're going to work there. If it's not that, you can be very active like me. I have Mars in my 9th house in my natal chart. So you do a lot of gathering knowledge, actually. And what is good, what is not good, what is good, what is right, astrology, spirit, the higher mind, God, all of these items become very important for the Aquarian, and they can explore. It can simply mean that you are going to read a lot. You read a lot of books about astrology or about God, if you believe in God, or about the higher consciousness, or about what's the meaning of life. It's a very Jupiterian house, so you're really gonna love it, I think, for the Aquarians, because an Aquarian is also a sign that wants to have that vision as well. You know, Aquarians are very much connected to the future as well, and they want to have some insights, and it's gonna help them. What else? Virgo. Virgo is, after Leo, Virgo, yes, Virgo, with Mars in the 2nd house, superb for the Virgos, because the 2nd house is your resources. So hopefully for some Virgos who have been low on resources, they will gain some more resources. If it's not that, it's confidence, you know, having the confidence to do things differently, or having the confidence to do things that you never did. It's now a good time to do so, because you've got Mars there who wants to push a little bit. So go for it, you Virgos. If you you can use a bit of self-confidence. You know, this is what you and Pisces have in common. You know, sometimes they are a bit insecure about their talents. Now, especially the Virgos, insecure about their talents. For the Pisceans, it's in the 8th house, Mars in the 8th house. And I think you Pisceans were like that as well, because the 8th house is a water house, and you wanna battle your fears, because the 8th house is a house of fears, so you want to battle them, and you've got the tools now to do that. It can also be that the 8th house is also the house of death and rebirth, so something has died with you. I have said that in the monthly horoscopes as well, but what I mean is a part of you that wasn't interesting anymore, and now you have the energy to go fresh and to explore new things, and that will suit you way better. So, and a lot of internal psychological work that you did, I think, you Pisceans. So a good time for you as well. So that's it. That was for the Mars going forward again. I wish you all the luck with it. So it's a good time now to deal with those areas that I just mentioned and to go for it. Thank you very much for listening. Have a good time. Bye-bye.